Hey everybody, welcome back to Shock and Schlock. I'm your host, Herschel Gillis, and today is Turkey Day. It's Thanksgiving. We're all spending time with our families, or some of us trying not to spend so much time, or watching football, or you're watching this, in which case, thank you. I feel you. You're watching a person review horror movies instead of football and spending time with family. I'm right there with you. I was watching I Spit on Your Grave this morning instead of football, so that shows where I am. But today, I just want to say, it marks 8 months of me being on YouTube today. And being that it is Thanksgiving, I just want to say I'm thankful for all of you watching these videos. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Truly, I wouldn't do this. I've gotten an immense amount of love and support, and I've met some really great people. And Banana Box Releasing is doing great, and none of that would be possible without this initial group of viewers, so thank you. And if you haven't subscribed already, though, make sure to do so, because I make some terrible content. But, yeah, anyway, I do have a Thanksgiving special today, so we're not reviewing Thanksgiving, because that's been done, and that movie is not very good. So, why don't we review a good Thanksgiving movie, shall we? No, it's not Amityville Thanksgiving, which I should have reviewed earlier this month, but maybe next year. Today, though, reviewing one of my favorite films, 1987's Blood Rage. Oh, this movie is chef's kiss. So what is Blood Rage? Well, it is set on Thanksgiving, but this Thanksgiving comes 10 years after this initial scene that we get of a young couple. You'll know what I mean if you watch the film. They use the same actor and they don't age them or de-age them. They look not like teenagers or even 20s or anything. So anyway, they're at a drive-in theater and they start making out a little bit, and the two kids that the woman has in the back seat with her boyfriend in the front, they're twins, identical, Terry and Todd. They both run out and silently just are watching people doing it in a car. And, Terry doesn't like this. So he, of course, takes an axe to the head of the man that is doing it. He then puts blood on his brother Todd to frame him, and Todd gets sent away to a mental health facility for 10 years. Cut to 10 years later, Terry's now living with his mom, still happily playing football with his friends, and he has a great life, even though he's a sadistic killer. Todd escapes from the mental institution, and Terry starts going on a killing spree because he sees his mom is getting married, and that's where the film goes. Now, for anybody that hasn't seen this film, this is one of the most batshit crazy slasher films ever made, in my opinion. It's hilarious in a lot of unintentional ways. It reminds me a lot of the film Pieces, which I will be reviewing on the channel, because I love that film. But it's slightly more cohesive than that. But there are still some iconic lines in this, like, that's not cranberry sauce, and I've never kissed a girl before. And just, God, I love this movie. Full of New York accents that come out of nowhere, eating corn on the floor with your bare hands, going crazy, throwing pumpkin pie at the wall. It's everything that you want to watch on Thanksgiving. What do I like about the film? Everything, but we'll go into detail here. The soundtrack is kind of corny, but it fits the 80s slasher vibe of this. This movie is so 80s that it hurts. It just oozes that, like, 80s aesthetic, and I really love that about it. The acting is, all of it is very over the top, but it's so over the top that almost every acting performance in this actually becomes memorable. Todd and Terry, as adults, are played by the same person, and he does a great job. They both feel very distinct, but I mean, even they're like caricatures of each other, but it's just funny to me. And the dialogue in this is awful, but it's awful in a good way. This is quality trash cinema, okay? And the kills here are actually pretty decent. The gore is kind of silly, but the film is silly. You don't want anything to be super serious. This is a fun, like, movie to watch with friends. I've seen this movie countless times now. I quote it a lot, even when it's not around Thanksgiving. But this is a great film. The gore, like I said, is kind of silly, but there's, like, there's little fun things that are there. Like, someone gets their hand cut off while drinking a beer, and the hand is, like, flexing on the beer still. And yeah, there's random stuff thrown into this film. Like, a baby is sort of just included at one point, and it becomes, like, not really a plot point, but it's weird that the baby's there for, like, an extended period of time. And the mother in this, she is from Frankenhooker as well, and she's always fantastic. Just her slow descent and her just being a mood the entire film, vacuuming while drinking wine, and this kind of standing there drinking wine and not vacuuming except the one spot. Felt that. Sitting on the floor eating corn from the fridge with her bare hands, drinking wine in the other. Felt that. This is just a really fun film. It's well paced. Everything. There's always something going on. It's very silly and over the top, but it's a slasher movie. And it does take itself pretty seriously, which makes it actually hilarious a lot of the time, because you can't take this seriously. And it's just great. It's so 80s that it hurts. It's a hell of a time. It's a family tradition. I watch this at least twice a year for probably the last 7 or 8 years now. Yeah, it's great. And you should check it out on VHS. I have the Blu-ray from Arrow, of course, but Mosh Pit Media has it on VHS as well. So hit them up for it. I really liked this. I watched this on VHS for the first time this year, prior to this video a couple days ago. And I think VHS is a good way to watch this one. Feels like that's the way it was intended to be watched. So, yeah. And I won't spoil anything about the story, but there's not really any twists and turns, but the ending is insane, and the yelling, you're going to be left like, what the fuck? But yeah, that's the charm. It's Blood Rage. It's great. 5 out of 5. I know I don't do reviews anymore, but this is a stone cold classic, so if you don't think this is a 5, then, And if you watch this and you don't enjoy it, that's fine. But I really hope you do. It's on Tubi TV for free as well if you don't want to drop the money on the Arrow Blu-ray or the VHS, but I do encourage you to watch it in any way you can. So, yeah. Happy Thanksgiving from Herschel Gillis. Signing off for today. I'll come back tomorrow with another review. The second half is split from Mike Gardenia, his segment, or their segment, I'm sorry. It's not just Daniel involved. Closing with that tomorrow. This weekend, Q&A video, as well as my review of Lucifer Dahmer's new film. So, yeah, lots of stuff. Tomorrow's Black Friday, so keep an eye out for Banana Box releasing stuff tomorrow as well. So, lots of exciting stuff coming down the pipeline. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I've been your host, Herschel Gillis, signing off for today. 0 thoughts, 0 editing, 0 planning, and 0 brain cells. Thanks, everybody.